Shalom. Giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. Peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which hold their kind of composure and integrity, standing and believing firmly upon the names of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and the only begotten Son, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his name is Yahushai, as is who the world calls God, and his name is Yahweh. All right, Yahweh and Yahushai are the names. All right, and only the elect are going to accept those names. Okay, only the elect can get this knowledge and actually, internalize and root it into their minds. All right. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, man, yeah. And that's the reason why I want to make this lesson. Before I made this lesson, I quickly looked up the world population as of 2024, and it is roughly estimated at 8.2 billion people on the planet. All right, 8.2 billion. And so, to give you the very, very easy odds, that's one in 8.2 billion chances that the Lord made when He chose you. All right, whoever you may be that believes in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the rarity of you getting that truth is 1 in 8.2 billion. Because you got to factor in that He didn't have to make you an Israelite, all right? And He did not have to give you this knowledge. He did not have to think about, introducing you to this knowledge. I think about this quite a bit, about how, the rarity, man. And last Sunday or last Friday, or us bros in the camp in Milwaukee, man, we went to go see the Apostle in Chicago. So good chunk of the Midwest region came up to go see the Apostle. And the Apostle, man, had a beautiful the Spirit was put onto him at night. I'm not saying it wasn't on him, but we were there. We were listening to that discourse, man, and he was speaking with power. And at one point in time, he starts moving through the brothers. We were in, one of the bros' houses. Must have been 50 brothers, man, 40, 50 brothers in there sitting down or all around listening to the Apostle. I included, obviously. And, it was late, but the Spirit jumped on the Apostle to go throughout the brothers and say, do you know what you're a part of? And he said it with power, man. Imagine yelling on the highways, man. Like, do you know what you're a part of? And that's exactly what the Apostle asked. All right. He said to Jake very firmly and with valiance, do you understand what you are a part of, man? And when you look at the chance of you getting this truth, man, to really understand the numbers and the odds of you getting that knowledge, man, like, it scared me at one point in time because, earlier, I'm running errands today. Today's a day off for me. But I was running errands and I went to go to the restroom, but I started thinking right there, I was like, and I got scared. I was like, man, there was a chance that you couldn't even know this knowledge, man. What would you have been doing at 2024, man, had not the Lord chose you? Like, what would I have been doing, man? It scares the fuck out of me, man. Even thinking about what the fuck would I be doing? I wouldn't even, I know for sure I wouldn't even be thinking like this. You could have been bugged out. You could have been joining the IUI, I can't see. You could have been part of, IUCPK, these other bugged out camps. Or you could have just not been into this knowledge. You couldn't even be zealous, because the scriptures tell you in Romans, the 10th chapter, that Israel has a zeal, but not according to knowledge. You could have just been doing, shit, man, nigga shit. Just being a regular civilian on this earth that doesn't have the knowledge of the Lord. And that's scary, man. That's very scary. Because when you ain't got this knowledge, the Lord tells you in Wisdom of Solomon 13 that men by nature are vain without the knowledge of the Lord. So you're empty. You serve no purpose. Now you could, who knows, maybe the Lord could have allowed you to live a comfy life, like a somewhat comfy life. You have a decent job, man, like the Edomite style life, man. But we're Jake. We're cursed. He could have put you in a house where we got to live with 26 fans and a whole sister. And you a nigga thinking you about hood rich. But You're smoking, getting high with doobies and blunts and whatever, you know? Like, man, think about it. 1 in 8.2 billion chances, man. The Lord decided to make you a vessel to have this knowledge. And again, first and foremost, you got to be an Israelite. You can't be another nation. You must come out of the 12 tribes of Jacob, of Israel. And even at that, the chance is still slim. All right? And even think about that. I don't know the odds. I didn't. I was going to take the time. Maybe later I will. Maybe down the line I will. Lord willing, the Spirit will be put on me to do it. And maybe there's a brother that's done it, and I haven't seen the video. But to think about the 144,000 and put those odds against 8.2 billion, the chance of being an elect. Just think about it, man. How extremely lucky. Luck's not a thing. Coincidence, there's no such thing as coincidence. But for the Lord to design you and say, this is going to be a vessel and I'm going to choose to serve me and be an elect, to be chosen. All right, a chosen vessel. Because that's what the Lord calls the elect in the book of Peter. All right, a royal priesthood, a chosen vessel. But you are a chosen vessel, a royal priesthood. I said it backwards. And you might shoot forth the praises of the Lord, man. The Lord didn't have to choose you, man. And the odds of you being chosen, that should really put some fear and some light into your eyes of, like, the Lord could choose anybody else. The Lord said in Matthew the 3rd chapter, man, that the Lord Yahweh could raise up rocks to serve him and do a better job than you. And Jake, man, sometimes you get on a little high horse, you know, thinking that I got this knowledge and, you know, I can serve the Lord. I have learned stuff as I've came along. But the Lord could have chose anybody else, man. And so what I wanted to talk about was just the Lord, you know, you as an Israelite being chosen by the Lord, you know, if you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, you be sincere to really appreciate what you're a part of, man, because do you really understand what you are a part of? That's why, you know, the requirements of serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, especially among Great Millstone, and we know that we have this truth, and we're serving the Lord the proper way, man. We're doing it to the best of our ability. There's no short ends, no cut ins, no loopholes, no taking the easy way out. Every man in this work, man, has to work. And you gotta, you know, you gotta make that foundation sure. I know the brothers, the elders, man, were talking about it. They quoted making that calling and election sure, that diligence, with diligence. You know, I was going to say it, but I never opened my mouth, you know, while the elders, the apostles were speaking. But it tells you in, you know, the main issue that the Lord has with Israel is that Israel, you know, Jake is not amending thoroughly their doings. And it tells you that, I believe, in either, I want to say the 3rd chapter of Jeremiah or the 7th chapter. But one of those chapters, it talks about the Lord saying that if thou thoroughly amend, both those words together, if thou thoroughly amend thy doings, your actions, your acts, all right? To thoroughly, you look at the word thoroughly, it means to be detailed with inspection, with a tight evaluation and examination. You are tightly examining how you are acting, man, how you're doing. And it's not acting, I mean, yeah, we go through this world and we, you know, with our affairs, and we commit actions in this world, but every action, the real actions and doings really counts towards the Lord, man. How you're interacting, how you're being you know, they say, how do they say it? A productive member of society. But the real actions that you commit are towards the Lord, man. That's what the Lord is really looking for. You know, your main purpose and priority in this time is serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. And that's really all that counts. Not to say, again, hey, I made a lesson about sinning, man. You know, because we're in the grace, should we yield our members to unrighteousness? No. You know, the Apostle Ariamla was going into how, you know, your deeds is not just, you know, your charity with money and all that. It's your actual deeds. All right? And to the brotherhood, man, we know our deeds is what? Showing love to one to another. If a brother need help, you help him. If the brother needs your assistance to do something or watch out or do this, then go with him. You got to do it. That's how you show the Lord that you love him, man, by serving the brotherhood. So any chance you get to serve to serve a brother, man, you know, it's always, Jake sees it as a test, but it shouldn't be a test, man. It should be a willing thing. Even Paul said that if I do this thing willingly, but he's talking about preaching, but also doing this work, you know, with deed, man. And so all of this is being accounted for when the Lord watches you in your walk in this ministry. All right. So 8.2 billion, you know, the Lord, you know, that's the rarity, man, of having his knowledge, man. And the Lord doesn't take kindly to you just being about yourself and being selfish. Look, man, something Jake has to learn in this truth is that, you know, the scriptures talk about you know, the men of the Lord having all things in common, the disciples having all things in common. Yes, we have our money. We have our own money that we put to the side for like bills and things that we would like, and, you know, whatever, rainy day, emergency funds. But at the same time, emergency funds can apply to, you know, give it to a brother. All right, this is not a video about money, man. This is a video about showing the extreme rarity of you getting this truth. But if you're gonna have this truth, man, you better make sure that you're serving the appropriate way. All right, and that comes with being selfless. Look into being selfless, man. What it really means. All right, the Lord talks about a man of the Lord, a servant of the Lord, being gentle. All right, well, being gentle means that you're affable, meaning you're easy to come to. So really, you know, being selfless and loving the brotherhood and serving them and doing things for them, and, you know, hearing them out, you know, staying up all night to hear the brother talk about, or to let a brother vent. The Lord looks at that, man, very highly. You know, even the elders and bros use those examples, man. I'll do that, man. Like, and I know, and you know, Lord willing, the Lord bless this brother, man. I call him all the time, man, to vent and to talk. And the brother, man, you know, Lord willing, the Lord dealing with him, man. Lord willing, this brother isn't elect because he's suffered me many times to talk about men emotions, worries, or things that I'm just, you know, just feeling down about, like a failure. And so the brother, he entreated, you know, he endured that. He took on my burden, man. And you know, the water Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So that's why, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai bless that brother, and he knows who he is. You know. So yeah, man, if you're gonna be in this truth, you gotta have a good spirit. But and you gotta pray that the Lord gave you that good spirit. All right, the spirit of just everything connected the proper way, internalizing the information of the Lord the right way, having just that right tick. Because you see with these other camps, man, look at what's happened to them. Some of these guys, man, they know the names, but they ain't do they giving a what is it? How does it? And they're not sacrificing acceptably. There's a precept, you know, an acceptable sacrifice. They're serving, they're claiming they're serving the Lord, but the Lord ain't accepting their sacrifice, man. You know, they're giving the sacrifice of a fool. All right, and that's why the Lord ain't dealing with them. And that right there too should put fear in you, because they believe they're doing the work for the Lord. They believe that the Lord is dealing with them because of their mammon gain. You know? But we're not here to win, man. We're here to lose. We're here to take all the L's. But these men believe, they're delusioned. You know? So, you know, if you have this truth, man, and if you believe through, you know, and if you're serving with Great Millstone, man, you know, Great Millstone, the Lord always throws wrenches in this thing, so to speak, you know, to test Jake, to trip him up, to keep you on your toes, man. And those things are enough to trip up Jake. Like, I'm not with, man, Great Millstone has this truth, man. You know, we have the knowledge. We know how to direct a spirit to believe and give you what you need to continue to serve the Heavenly Father, man, and Yahweh Shai. That in itself is a trick to Jake, man, because you see the negativity that they bring towards Yahweh Shai, man, but we let you know Yahweh Shai is just as important as Yahweh, man, and we brought all the scriptures out to prove it. All right, it's like my ears are, you know, popping or whatever, or getting salaka. But yeah, man, just take into account and meditate on it, man. The Lord did not choose you. 8.2 billion souls on the planet, and the Lord could have did the reverse that role on you, man. He could have made you a heathen and a heathen be a Jake. You know? You know, Apu or Abu could have been made a Jake, man, and you would have been made Abu. You know, but yeah, man, just consider it. So, nothing too big, nothing too shabby, man. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. You know, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone which rule well. Peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, which hold the conduct, composure, and integrity, and of a great humbleness, man. Be humble, be meek. All right? To the next one I say, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Hey, Kwam Yashala, Shalom. Shalom.